Okay, come and have a seat at the top of your mat. This practice is going to be a very relaxing practice. You might want to use it in the evening. It's going to be really gentle. We're really going to slow things down, calm down the nervous system, and then hopefully you do the practice and you have a lovely, long, very peaceful night's sleep is the intention. So we'll start seated because there'll be plenty of time to lie down later on. And now having a seat, so sitting tall, wriggling around a little. If you just need to get rid of want to fidget, then need to fidget. And then just resting the hands, palms face up onto the tops of the thighs. Shoulders back, so just making sure your shoulders aren't rolling forwards. Crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. So we have this really nice long line from the spine, from the seat bones, up through the lower back, through the middle back, up through the chest and out through the crown of the head. Holding that line and trying to hold that line all the way throughout the practice. As we hold that line, the chest is nice and open, so we find it easier to take big, nourishing breaths. And we just start to notice the length of our inhale and the length of our exhale. Our breath in and our breath out. We need to start to count that breath so we make sure that both the inhale and the exhale are of the same length. So breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and let it go. 2, 3, 4. Breath in, 2, 3, 4. Breath out, 2, 3, 4. Breath in and breath out. Breath in and breath out. Stay with that breath, just finding a nice easy rhythm to the breath. We've got a couple of breathing exercises at the start of this class. It's going to help us calm the nervous system, settle things down, allow the parasympathetic nervous system for rest and digest to be awake, to be active. And then keeping that same breath count, we're now going to add a retention to the breath. So at the top and at the bottom of the breath, we'll find a pause. So we'll start all together. We'll breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold, and in, hold, and out, hold, and in, hold, and out. One more round, in, hold, and out, hold. Let the breath stay steady. And now we're going to breathe in for a count of 4, but we're going to try and breathe out for a count of 8. Now, depending on how your breath is, you might count for 3, you might count for 6, but we're breathing in for 1 count, we're doubling that count to breathe out. So we'll start with 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Last one in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then just let the breath settle. Notice how the body feels physically, how it feels, relaxation, the weight of the seat, the length of the spine, and then also mentally, how we feel very connected to the practice, maybe a little calmer than when you first sat down on your mat. And then we'll just rest the chin into the chest, stretch out the back of the neck, and then take the head all the way over to the right. Big rotation up through the neck and bring it back down to the left. Another one that way, over to the right. And bring it down over to the left. Other direction, take it to the left. All the way up, down to the right. Take it to the left. All the way over, down to the right. And then just sit tall. Reach the arms up to the sky. Lift in your seat. Exhale, gentle twist to the right hand behind you. Left hand to the right knee. Inhale, find breath. Exhale, twist. Inhale, find a nice long breath. Exhale, twist. And one more breath in. And breath out. Inhale, reach up, stretch nice and tall in your seat. Exhale, take the twist to the left. Right hand, left knee, left hand behind. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Final one in. And breath out. And back to center. Take the hands behind the small of the lower back. Lift the chest open. Pull the hands back. Sit nice and tall on the seat bones. Lifting the chest upwards and forwards. Opening across the collarbones and sliding the shoulder blades down the back. And then releasing the arms out in front of you. Release the feet, plant the feet to the floor. And then keeping a nice big rounded C shape through the spine, we're going to tuck the tailbone under and take our time rolling down to the floor. So really slow movement down to the ground. So we're rolling into the mat. We're not dropping or hinging through the spine. When we get all the way down, take the arms up overhead, keep the arms on the floor, push into the heels, roll the tailbone off the floor, curl the hips, the lower back, the middle back and the upper back, squeeze into the glutes, push down into the big toe, and then roll the hips back down. And once the hips find the floor, we'll reach the arms up to the sky, curl and lift back up into our seat. So using the waist, using the strength around the center of the body. Then we'll roll back down. So curl down nice and slowly, pull the belly button in, curl to the ground. Take the arms back overhead. When the arms find the floor, the tailbone starts to curl and we roll up through the lower body. Pushing up through the hips, driving your big toe down so you feel engagement through the hamstrings and the glutes. And then rolling it back down. And when the hips come to the mat, we reach the arms up towards the sky, curl through the upper back, the shoulders, the chest, reach up beyond the knees into a seat, and then cross the legs, bring the hands down and just step back into downward facing dog. Pedal your downward facing dog out, just gently moving a little in your downward dog. Breathe in and a big sigh out. Reach your right leg up to the sky, pull the right knee into the chest, step forwards and rise up into a nice tall high lunge. So think real length through the sides of the waist, real height through the chest. Breathing in, breathing out. Can you move a little deeper into that left hip? Breathing in and breathing out. Rest the left knee to the floor. Place the right forearm on the right thigh. Sweep your left arm up, and I want you to slightly side bend over to the right in your low lunge, so that not only do we open the left hip, but we open nicely through the left side of the waist. Take a big breath in here, and then as you breathe out, bring your left hand down to the floor, reach the right arm up to the sky and twist. So starting with the left knee down, taking a breath, and then lifting the left knee. You can stay here, or a Shiva twist. You're going to twist onto the outside edges of both feet, so your toes will be facing to the right side of the room. Generates a bit more twist and release through the hips. Take a big inhale breath, and an exhale breath, walk it back so your toes face the top of the mat, the hands are down. Step back into downward facing dog. Breath in here and let it all go. Breath in and let it all go. Reach your left leg up to the sky. Nice long inhale. Exhale, pull that left knee in, step and rise up. Nice tall high lunge. So really lengthen, lift through the side of the waist. Open through that right hip, nice and tall through the chest. Take another big inhale. And then exhale, lowering your right knee all the way down to the ground, resting the left forearm on the left thigh, sweeping your right arm up and over. So we side bend open through the right hip, the waist, the side of the torso, the shoulders, the chest. Another breath in and breathe out. Bring that right hand down, take a twist, left arm up. So your right knee is still down just for the moment. One more breath. And then the right knee lifts. So the twist is a little stronger, and then your second option is to move on to the outside edge of the feet. Toes point to the left side of the room, and there's more of a twist through the hips. So we're pulling that left hip down, drawing that right hip up. Amend the feet so they come back to face the top of the mat. Bring the left hand down and step back into downward facing dog. Take a nice big breath and exhale. Roll forwards into your plank position, your choice for your vinyasa, so knees, chest and chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, open to a nice back bend, lift the chest, draw the shoulders back and down. Exhale, moving into your downward facing dog, pushing into the backs of the shoulders, staying strong through the upper body, through the arms, and extending down the back of the legs. Bend soft to the knees, slowly walk forwards to the top of your mat. Just holding opposite elbows, releasing through the upper body, lengthening through the lower body. Drawing the feet together, rolling up through the spine, coming to Tadasana, so palms face forwards, chest open, shoulders drawing back, really thinking about the height in our stance, making sure the weight is balanced evenly between the feet, not gripping with the toes, and not holding all the way back into the heels. Feet, knees, inner thighs squeezing together. Reach the arms up to the sky for a nice big inhale breath. And then an exhale, sit down into your chair. In your chair, wrap a corset of strength around the center of the body. So pull your obliques in, pull the abdominals in, and sit a little taller so you feel the muscles that run up the length of the back engage. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to prayer. We're going to twist the left elbow outside of the right knee. So try and keep the knees squeezing together. Just 2 breaths here, in and out. Breathe in and out. Come back to your chair, reach the arms up and then stand tall. Bring the hands to the hips, step the left foot back. Keep the feet about hip width apart, both toes facing forwards. Tilting from the hips, roll and lengthen the spine forwards over the right leg. So extending the body forwards there over the right thigh. You might want to use the breath, so the inhale helps the spine lengthen and the exhale takes you deeper into a fold. And then we have another chance to twist and open around the hips here. So if you like, you're going to move the feet on the spot so the toes face over to the right. Trying to pull that right hip back and bring the left hip round and forwards. Quite a squeeze through the inner thighs. You're walking the hands over to the right as well to help you, so you feel that twist in and around the outside of the hips, maybe the lower back. Release. Walk the hands to the front and then all the way around to the left. Adjust the feet, take them wider, so we come into a nice wide forward fold. Toes in, heels slightly out. Reclining down into that fold, so lengthening the body forwards and then pushing the hands into the ground and walk your hands out, so we find this very wide downward dog shape, so we can really push into the arms and the hands. This makes the arms longer, it helps us open the shoulders, and we want to imagine someone's lifting the hips back, so you're really opening there, lengthening the sides of the waist. Feel the hamstrings and the inner thighs stretch and open here. Take another breath. And then exhale, walk the hands back to the inside of your right foot. Turn and lower the left knee for your lizard. Happy for you to stay on your hands or you rest to elbows. Very long opening through that left thigh, from the knee, through the thigh, through the hip. Deep compression into the front of the right hip. So a lot of mobility, flexibility in the hips. Try and let the weight of the pelvis just move down towards the ground. Try not to resist and hold the shoulders. Allow the weight of the shoulders to help you soften into your lizard. If you like a little bit more here, you might know where we're going. You can reach that right arm up and twist open to the right, and then maybe your left knee bends, so you reach round and hold the left ankle. That's a lot of stretch. It's a big opening through the front of the chest. Want you to make sure if you go there, you're moving the chest forwards, you're opening that right shoulder up and back. There's no rounding forwards in that right shoulder. Take one more breath. And then exhale, bring your right hand down. Do what you need to do to move back to downward facing dog and just stretch it out. Big full inhale and a very long exhale. Soften the knees, bend the knees, slowly walking your feet in towards the hands, holding opposite elbows, gentle sway, little bit of movement from side to side, and then settling. Drawing the navel in, rolling up through the spine, standing tall, reach the arms up to the sky. Sit down into your chair. So pull that corset in, support. Give yourself structure and length through the spine. So sit a fraction taller. Feel the back muscles kick in. Hands to prayer, heart center. Lift, twist, and bring that right elbow outside of the left knee. So you're moving the chest over to the left, trying to keep the knees squeezing together, knees and the thighs really working towards one another. Another breath. And then come back to center, rise to standing, reach the arms to the sky, hands to hips. Now step the right leg back, about 3 feet, both toes facing forwards, hip width apart in the feet. Tilting from your hips, lengthen and move the spine forwards over that left leg. So extend the spine down. Want you to think, can you pull up through the left thigh? Draw the navel in and take the chest closer to that left thigh. So move over your left thigh, lengthening the side of the waist. If you want to find that twist here, then the hands walk over to the left. You turn your feet slightly on the spot so the toes face over to the left. We're bringing that left hip back, trying to move that right hip forwards in the twist, squeezing between the inner thighs. Take an inhale breath and an exhale, releasing, walking the hands all the way over round to the right side of the mat, adjusting the feet, taking them wide. Bend the knees a little and then reach the arms round to the outside of the ankles, and I want you to pull yourself in nice and close to the thighs here. So try and sandwich the body down, pull the navel in, draw up through the front of the thighs and the hip flexors, and then close that gap between upper body and lower body, giving a nice big stretch through the posterior chain from the soles of the feet up through the backs of the legs and down through the spine. One more breath. Hands walk back to the top of the mat. Turn and lower the right knee down. Feel lizard. Relax through the upper body. Important, we're not holding the jaw or straining unnecessarily here. Breathing into that right hip, weight of the pelvis moving to the right thigh, melting the hips forwards and down. If you're twisting, if you did so on the other side, left arm reaches up, back knee bends, reach round and hold for the right foot. Keep your left shoulder pulling up, open and back, lift the chest forwards, take a big inhale and a big exhale, bring it back. Hands to the floor, step back to your downward facing dog. Ripple the spine forwards to a plank position, rest the left knee, side plank over to the right, and then reach that right arm up overhead so you really lengthen and open the right side of the body. Have a good stretch through the right side of your waist, and then bring it back, right hand down. Take it back into downward facing dog, and we'll just come through our plank again to the other side. So right knee rests, left leg back, left arm up, stretch and reach, left arm all the way over. So really open and lengthen that left side. Take a big inhale and an exhale, bring the hand back, take it into your downward facing dog, come forwards, back into your plank and just make your way down to the ground. Forehead rests, hand underneath shoulders. Zip the legs together, point the toes. So you've got one really super strong leg. You're going to point and push the toes and the top of the feet down. Pull the navel in, hover the hands off the floor and take a big inhale. Lift the chest open. So how much strength have you got between the shoulders to lift the chest up and back? Take another breath in and a breath out. Release back down to the floor. Rest the forehead. Hands behind the back. Interlace the hands at the small of the lower back, reach the hands back, pull the navel to the spine, lift the chest upwards and forwards. Can you move forwards on your mat? Pull the shoulders back, point the toes, strengthen the legs, and then exhale, fold back to the floor, hands down, tuck the toes, stretch back into a nice long child's pose. So loads of space there through the side of the body into the lower back. Massage the forehead from side to side. Just release any tension there through the forehead, around the neck and the top of the shoulders. And then I want you to come back onto hands and knees. So just push up to the hands. Keep the hips stacked where they are on top of the knees. Pull the waist in, so just make sure you've got some support through the center of the body. And then stretch the arms out, coming into a puppy stretch. So you're reaching the arms far away from you, but trying to keep the hips on top of the knees. Stretching there right through the front of the body, through the shoulders, opening the sides of the waist. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Pushing into the hands, pull the waist in, carefully bringing the knees towards the hands, cross the shins and just take a seat. Give the legs a little shake out in front of you, a bit of a wriggle around, and then bend the knees just slightly, so not all the way in, heels to the floor. Reach forwards, wrap the arms underneath the thighs, give yourself a big hug, bring the chin into the chest and take a gentle forward fold. So we open the backs of the shoulders, giving ourselves a big loving hug, a big squeeze, opening there through the back of the body, trying to melt into that connection with the lower body, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. One more breath in and breath out. Come back up. Nice and slowly reach the arms out in front of you. Just carefully, slowly take it down to the floor. When you find the floor, bring your right knee in. Draw some circles with that right knee, helping us to massage, mobilize into the right hip. Pretty gentle, nothing too fancy, just making plenty of space into that right hip, giving it a little bit of a massage before we close down the practice. And then take your right arm out to the side, left hand holds the right knee, draws it across the body for a nice deep twist. So you're gazing to your right fingertips, releasing all the way through the back. Right knee coming down to the floor on the left. Another big breath. And let it go. Come back to center. Stretch your right leg out. Bring your left leg in. Start to massage and move that left side. Might be different, side to side, that's okay. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Massage, move. Gently mobilize. And then left arm out to the side. Right knee comes all the way across. Take a big twist. Knee coming down to the ground. Shoulders down. Big twist. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Come back to center. Bring both knees into the chest. Give yourself a big hug, a big squeeze, rock from side to side. And then just place the left foot to the floor, keeping the left knee bent. Right ankle on top of the left knee. Thread the needle, so reach for the back of your left thigh. Pull in towards you. So try and keep the shoulders down. We're releasing around the outside of the right hip as we pull that left thigh in. You might use your right elbow to push the right thigh slightly further away, opening around the hip. Take another breath and let it go. Come back to center, little swap over, right foot down, left ankle on top of the right thigh, reach through, thread through, lie down onto your back, shoulders melting into the mat. Left knee moving away from you to help open and release around that left hip. Right thigh drawing in as you pull that right thigh towards you with a bend in the elbows. Use the biceps so that we don't come up too much through the shoulders. And then release and let it go. Just bring both knees to your chest, give them a hug and a squeeze. Place the feet to the floor. If you're comfortable, let the knees move out to the side, lying back with your hands on the belly. If you're not comfortable, then please stretch the legs out. Make sure you can settle into a nice deep Shavasana. Reclining to the floor. Lying comfortably in your Shavasana. Making sure the weight of the head is very comfortably down into the ground. Back of the neck is free of tension. Shoulder blades, back of the arms, supported by your mat. And then up towards the palms, relaxed in the palms. So there's no tension in the grip. Feel soft underneath the hands. A very gentle rise and fall in the belly, but no strain, no resistance. Lower back completely heavy down into the ground. And then hips are released, they're comfortable. So either the knees are moving out nice and wide, allowing this lovely long inner thigh stretch, or the legs are outstretched and the feet turn to the side to indicate a release through the hips. Grounded into your space, into your mat. And just appreciating the time you've put aside for a nice nourishing practice this evening. Noticing how calm the breath and the body are, and how connected the two feel from the practice. So much so that we can't measure where the breath stops. It's just like a continuous flow within the body. The body reacts so freely and so easily to the breath. The continual cycle, the inhale, the exhale. The rhythm that works throughout the day, whether we give it our time and our awareness or whether we don't. But noticing that when we are aware, when we do help or improve our breath, the benefits we feel. Feeling content and calm. Feel free to stay lying down on your back in Shavasana, or deciding to move very, very carefully, bringing the knees together, maybe just rolling over onto your right hand side, using the right arm as a pillow if you like, the right bicep, or just resting the head to the floor. Using the left hand, bringing yourself up to find a very easy, relaxed seat. Resting the hands into the lap. So just place one hand on top of the other. Closing the eyes. Again, just noticing the calm. Gently the hands meet in prayer heart center. Bow the chin to the chest. And just thank yourself for practice. Namaste.